Hey guys, it is Monday, and I am on day. Let's see, is it day 14? Whoops, day 14 of my 42 days. I'm quickly approaching halfway, but not quite there. So 14th day of my 42-day reselling. Cool. Hi, Barb. My reselling sprint to Christmas Eve. That's the 42nd day. So I was unable to make a video last Friday, but I thought I would check in, guys, and go over the last, let's see, 5+ days. So here it's almost 5 o'clock, and so there's still some more time in the day for more sales, but I'm going to give you some numbers as of between the 22nd to today, the 26th, which are the last days, which are the days after I made the last video, and kind of let you guys know what's going on with it. And the video is going to be about 20 minutes long, so I have to help with dinner. So it's not going to be a super long video, even if you guys start asking me a bunch of questions. I can't stick around that long. So last week on Friday, I was able to list. Hi, JD. I was able to list a bunch of stuff. For me, it was a bunch of stuff on eBay. I listed about, I don't know, a dozen or so software, but most of it was video games on eBay, and then about 60 individual CDs. I sold a few of them already, not a ton of them, but a few of them. So I added that to my eBay inventory. So that was cool. I was able to get through that, through a bunch of stuff I had taken photos of and I'd had here for like the last week. And I was slowly going through it and finally was able to finish that out. So as of now, I don't have any eBay stuff that I've taken photos of that I need to list. So, but I've got a ton of stuff to list. I just haven't gotten around to it. But that's what I was doing the end of last week in terms of listing. And so basically my sales, so my Amazon sales for the 22nd through today, hopefully there'll be more today, but was 36 sales for gross. Remember, these are gross numbers. These are not net numbers. So the gross sales was $539. Now, the interesting thing is, 30 of those sales were FBA, and actually 6 were merchant fulfilled. So my merchant fulfilled sales are improving little by little. If you haven't seen me before, you know that I used to be 100% FBA, and then I slowly got into merchant fulfilled, just dipping my toe, and now I've gone much more into it, and that's kind of where I'm headed to diversify. And also, I have a lot of stuff listed on eBay, over close to 600 items, over 500. I don't know exactly how many, but over probably 550 or so. And so 6 of those were merchant fulfilled sales. I've had 2 merchant fulfilled sales today, which was cool. One was, let me see. Oh yeah, one was a book, which was a pretty low ranked book that I listed merchant fulfilled instead of doing an FBA, and I sold the book for $17, which is pretty awesome. And then hi, Ken. And then I also sold a VHS tape. It was a tape that I found in a thrift store for, I think, like 25 cents. It was still sealed. It was a kids VHS tape called "The Story of P.J. Sparkles," and then so I sold that for $11.81 merchant fulfilled. So that was really nice, considering I'd only actually spent 18 cents on it because there was a tag sale. So 18 cents into 11.81 plus shipping, and then minus Amazon's fee and minus the shipping for me. So it'll be nice, a nice profit there. And then the other book the other item that I sold merchant fulfilled today was the complete works of William Shakespeare. It's leather bound. It's a nice copy. The rank is really low. The rank is 92,000 right now, and the lowest offer is $19, $20 or so. So I sold that one for 17.36. Maybe I think I repriced it recently, um, but that one sells pretty regularly. So that was a nice sale, and that one was pulled out of a Gaylord. So that was, hold on, where am I? So that one, cost me 5-10 cents or so in the Gaylord, and so that's a nice profit there as well. But anyway, that was interesting to me that 1 second, Troy, that 6 of my 36 Amazon sales over the last 5.5+ days. Hey, Thrift School. Letting you guys know, and again, that about 15 more minutes here of the video, because I have to make it a shorter video. I've got to go help with dinner. But anyway, so now that there's 9 people, um, so yeah, 6 were MF sales. So another one of those sales. Okay, so that was $539 in Amazon sales in the last 5.5+ days. FBA sales were $357. These are gross numbers. And then the 6 merchant fulfilled were $182. Now, a big chunk of those merchant fulfilled sales was which is what I put in part of the title here, was a dual cassette deck that I found, I think on the 9th of November. So a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks exactly. I found it at a thrift store. Really cool, old school. I can't remember. I think it was, not that it matters that much, but I want to see. Sony. It was a Sony dual cassette deck recorder, and I bought it for. It was going for like $20. I mean, they were selling it for $20, but they had a tag sale, and then they had a manager's percentage off. So I ended up getting like 70+% off. So it was $7, and I sold it for $111. This is merchant fulfilled, and I just shipped it today. It's sold over the weekend. So I don't have very many things up for sale electronics wise, but I've been getting more and more into it. As of right now, I have 2, and I have another unit that I picked up a couple days ago on the weekend, actually on Saturday. That I'll show you guys in a second. That did not have the power cord, so I'm searching for a power cord for it. But anyway, and that one was really inexpensive too. So I'm trying to get more into that to diversify and get better at knowing what types of electronics sell well. Okay, so that was for Amazon, and for eBay. Let's see. Oh, right. Hey Manny, how you doing? He says merchant fulfilled sales are heating up. Yeah, for sure. Do not turn your nose up to doing merchant fulfilled, even if you don't have a ton of space. I mean, designate a bookshelf or 2, use your garage, maybe even a small storage unit that could, maybe cost you $100 or less to throw up some shelves, whatever it is. I mean, just even having a couple hundred, 200-300 items listed merchant fulfilled, whether they're books or CDs or electronics or VHS tapes or whatever. I mean, I've sold a dual cassette deck recorder, dual cassette deck player recorder, I guess. I sold a book, I sold a VHS tape, all merchant fulfilled. So you can diversify and sell a lot of different stuff. Yeah. So let's see. So eBay sales have kind of been weird. Irving, I do both. I'm not. I made a video about this. My last video, that I have allowed a little over 1,000 items FBA. So I've got a lot, and I've only got over like 250 listed merchant fulfilled. So I'm trying to. What I want to do is have my merchant fulfilled get up to where the same or similar level of where I am with FBA. Yeah, FBA is totally still worth it if there's enough profit in the items. Absolutely. Don't worry. I mean, you should only really send in items that are going to sell within 6 months. I wouldn't recommend unless there's a lot of money in the item, unless the item's going for like 50, 60, 80, $100, like a book, a CD, a record, whatever it may be, unless there's a lot of profit in there and it's going to take 8 or 9 months. Otherwise, it's not really worth it to send something in. You can merchant fulfill it if there's enough profit there. Mike says eBay sales down from last year. Yeah, even with all those fancy commercials on TV. So my eBay sales are, so on the 22nd, which was well, that was Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving last Thursday was only 2 eBay sales, and then on Friday, my sales went crazy. I had 9 eBay sales, and then Saturday I had 2, Sunday I had 3, and today so far I've had 2. Do I sell books on eBay? I do. Not that many. I don't have that many up for sale, but I probably have, hmm, maybe like a couple dozen, maybe 25 or 30 or so individual books. So yeah, I do have some, but not a lot. Most of what I have for sale, individual items on eBay, are CDs. But I have a lot of different stuff. I've got, like I said, a couple dozen books. I've got a good amount of video games between PC games and PlayStation, and a couple other systems in there, but most of it's PC and PlayStation. I've got a few software pieces of software up for sale. I got um, what's it called? Audiobooks. Um, oh, and some DVDs as well. I have a ton of DVDs to put up for sale that are in my storage unit, but I'm going to get to them probably in the next, hopefully 1 to 2 weeks. But anyway, so yeah, and so the total. Let me see. That was what is that? 11, 5, 6, 7. So 18 sales in 5.5 days on eBay, which is not that great. But that one day was 9 sales. So, but the total gross sales numbers were $341.78. So that's awesome. Mike says, "Do you know the threshold for ungated CDs on Amazon? Some CDs I can list, others I can't." No, I don't. There's some people though that are getting invoices from, I don't know. I honestly don't know from where, but they're getting invoices to get ungated on CDs. I'm ungated. I have been since they gated them back in 2016. Some people apparently are still able to get in with CDs as well as DVDs, but I'm not familiar with the ungating process. So um, let's see. So in terms of eBay, yeah, I heard that. I heard about that happening. For whatever reason, I was not affected by that, and I don't know why. So it's really strange. It's really strange that they did that. I'm not sure why they gated in 2016, why they gated CDs and music, but they did that out of nowhere, and then they started restricting people on certain CD titles. Let's see. Okay, wait. So Troy asked me back here. I meant to get to it. How often do you reprice your inventory? Not that often. Not as often as I should. But when I do reprice it, it does suck, Mike. It totally sucks. Which is why I feel bad talking about selling CDs on Amazon when I know a lot of people can't do it. Um, uh, how often do you reprice your inventory? Not enough. When I do reprice it, though, I do a big chunk, a couple hundred or so, and I usually get sales for merchant fulfilled, and then for FBA too. When I do some um, what is it called? Repricing. I do not use a repricer. So that's the answer to that question, Troy. If you're still here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So some of the cool sales that I got. Okay, so the dual cassette deck, that was actually that was through merchant fulfilled, and that cost me $7. I sold it for 111, and then plus shipping, and then so Amazon's going to pay me about $82, and then minus my cost of goods, so I made the profit on that was $75, which is pretty awesome. I mean, considering I only got it a couple weeks ago, $7, hardly anything, and then to profit 10 times that is it's pretty awesome because it's a minimal work. I mean, the most of the time you spend is when you're at the thrift store or wherever, whether it's a thrift store, estate sale, garage sale, wherever you are, and you're looking up all the different items. So that can take a little bit of time. Sometimes you find it right away, sometimes you don't. Hey. So hi. uh Sometimes you find it right away, sometimes you don't. So that takes a little bit of time. Not that much though. I mean, not like hours. You could spend 30 minutes and just look up 10 or 12 different electronics. Anyway, and then once you find one and get it home, you have to test it. I plug them in there at the thrift store to make sure they turn on, and if a tape player to make sure that it's working, that type of thing. But sometimes you can't test it completely. Anyway, so 1 second, Ken. So yeah, so electronics don't take too much time. Don't take too much of your time, and then you just take a couple photos, list it. It's really simple. Put it on a shelf. Just wait for it to sell. Ken asked, "You head to the post office? Have you ever thought?" Yeah, no, I print them at home, Ken. I just was whenever I go to the whenever I'm talking about going to the post office, I'm just dropping off the packages. So I have everything at home. I do it through eBay, print through eBay, and print through Amazon when I sell something merchant fulfilled or on eBay. And I have envelopes and all that stuff here. And so yeah, so I don't go to the post office. I don't go there to buy the to pay for it, pay for the shipping. I just do it online. Much easier. I've never done it any other way. Um, let's see. I sold, what did I do? Oh, this is eBay. I sold a copy of Ayn Rand's Fountainhead, which I think, oh no, I found that at a thrift store for like $2, and I sold it for about 28 bucks. So I'll make a good profit on that. Um, 1 second. And then, okay, Troy. So is the pricing is the pricing reduced for postage through Amazon? I've used eBay, but not Amazon. So media mail is usually what I use, unless it's electronics or what is it called, or a video game or software. But if it's a book, if it's a CD, if it's a VHS tape, all that, then if it's media, then it's media mail. So media mail is just $2.66 at eBay and at Amazon. So both of them are the same price. Uh, I'm not sure about the other ones. Occasionally, like I used UPS for the dual cassette deck to ship that, because it was the cheapest price, because they offer you through Amazon, because they offer you these regional box things, but they're too small. They don't fit the item that I'm shipping. So, but yeah, so I don't know if it's reduced, but it's the same as it is at eBay for media mail. Oh, and I sold a copy of Adobe Photoshop 6.0 for 38 bucks, 37.99, which was awesome. That's one of those things that I just pulled out of a Gaylord. When I pull it out of a CD Gaylord, Gaylord of CDs, it's really like a nickel or a dime. It's not costing me much. So when I find stuff like that, it's not a CD. It's just extra, totally extra. And today I got an offer for this item that I've had up for sale on eBay for a couple of months. It's how do I explain what it is? Well, it's like a CD, DVD type of program. It's a box set um, by some guy named Bob Proctor, and it had sold for over $100. I saw it's missing one of the CDs. It's got 6 DVDs and 15 CDs. The one of them's missing, and I listed it for 140 bucks, and I got an offer for 120. So I took it because this is another thing. It's like big. Can't really tell, but it's pretty big. It's pretty thick. It was in the Gaylord of CDs. These are the kind of random stuff that I come across. I come across these box sets and these like programs, self-help or religious or whatever programs, and they might look funky or you might think they're not worth any money, but always look them up on eBay and you would be surprised. I mean, this big old thing that was missing one CD, and I just sold it for 120 bucks and they just paid me. So it's going to be a bit bigger to ship, but it's media mail. So you just never know. You can find some random stuff. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. I've had that up for a couple months, not too long, maybe like 2 or 3 months. You got to be willing to be patient. And also, the great thing about eBay is things can be missing CDs or DVDs if it's like a box set or this type of thing that this box set program, CDs and DVDs. And you can be missing something, as long as you disclose it, disclose it in your title, disclose it in your condition notes, disclose it in your description, be very clear about it, take photos of everything. Um, then you can sell things that are missing a disc. You can even sell like a video game that comes with two discs, but it only has one of them. If it's a popular one going for good money, you can still sell it for good money. You can do that with CDs, DVDs, all different types of stuff. So that's another big, it's a big benefit to eBay. Is if you're doing bulk, or even if you're not, and you find something that's missing one component, one CD, whatever it may be, you can often still sell it on eBay. Someone will still buy it. I think that was all I had to talk about. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm probably going to end the video. So please ask me now. I'm happy to offer anything. Using Amazon. Ken says, I was using Amazon until I opened up an account with Phil's, which sends the inventory to several venues. I was wondering if you have ever listed on Phil's or Art of Books. Art of Books. No, I haven't. Excuse me. So does that mean that you ship it to this company, Phil's, and then they ship it to the Amazon warehouse? Is that what you mean? Or you're listing it? I don't understand. But no, I've never done it. I know there's people that do prep. They offer book prep services, and they might do it for other types of items, but I know people do it for books, where you can, I don't know exactly the process, how it works, but essentially, I don't know if you list it first or whatever, but you essentially ship your books that you want to go to Amazon for FBA, ship them to the people who are going to prep them, the prep company, and then they'll do everything. They'll prep the books, as in putting the stickers on them and sending them out to the warehouses. So, you source them and then you find them and then you send them off. But I don't know if that's different than what you're talking about. So let's see. Yeah, so I guess kind of not the moral of the story, but the point of the video is to diversify. Okay. No, I haven't used it. So yeah, is to diversify. I mean, I'm selling a lot of different stuff. I started with just books. It became difficult to just do books. With the increase in fees, you have to have access to higher value books. You've got to start selling on eBay. You can't just do FBA, Amazon. You can, but if you're the kind of person that has access to high value books, let's say your ASP is much higher because whatever your sources, there's a lot of high priced textbooks, school books, long tail books, whatever. But I highly recommend diversifying. Every time I buy them, they don't work. The bands are old and broken. Which one? What are you talking about, Mike? Are you talking about electronics? So now that I started eBay April of last year. So first, probably people are going to watch this video. They've been doing eBay for like 10 years, 12 years, whatever, 5 years, much longer than me. So I'm still pretty new to it and still learning it. But I kind of treat it like I treat Merchant Fulfilled. I'm trying to list a lot of items. The more I list, the more I sell. And that's basically it. Of course, I'm doing the research to make sure that it's an item that's worth listing. But the more I list, the better I get at figuring out what's worth putting up there on eBay or on Merchant Fulfilled. I'm going through right now. I've had over 1,000 CDs boxed up in my garage for several months, probably 3 or 4 months now, because these were CDs that I had brought to the house from a Gaylord. I had sorted, and then I went through them for FBA, but I didn't deal with the rest of them. So now I'm dealing with them, and I'm finding a few I can do Merchant Fulfilled. I've even found like 4 already that I'm going to send FBA, but the rest of them are going into eBay CD lots, so that I can make room in my garage and just get rid of this stuff. But once that whole process is complete, once I've gone through those boxes, and I still got a ways to go, I'll probably spend this whole week doing that. And then next week listing, so probably a couple weeks, and then I'll start going through all those DVDs that I have in storage, which I started doing, but I barely scratched the surface. I just kind of took off the top of one of the Gaylords, and there's two of the Gaylords full of DVDs. So that's where I'm headed. But I'll be dealing with the CDs. And yes, who said Mike? Was Mike that said it? No, eBay sales down. So yeah, I haven't been doing eBay enough. I don't know why the sales are down, but maybe more people selling on eBay because of Amazon. I don't know. Not as many people going to eBay. I'm not sure. I still, I'm still getting good sales on eBay, but it's kind of all over the place. I mean, the last 5 days, 2 sales, 9 sales, 2 sales, 3 sales, 2 sales today so far. So since that 9 day sale, it's been really slow, and I don't know if it was just the Thanksgiving holiday weekend and now it's going to pick up, but hopefully it picks up for everybody. I'm glad I got that big sale today. That really helps. Definitely, that's motivation to list more. But you know, sales last week before Thanksgiving on eBay were really picking up, and then since before or the day of Thanksgiving, aside from Friday, that last Friday, it's kind of slowed down. So I don't know if it's just people, doing the Thanksgiving thing and not buying, even though we had Black Friday and we had Cyber Monday today. But I don't think those really are affecting my sales. Yeah, I don't know. Manny says he agrees eBay sales are weaker than they should be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Like I said, yeah, they were strong up until about Thanksgiving for me, like the couple weeks before that, and then when I listed a lot of stuff, and they're not as good as I would hope they would be. But I'm just hoping that it has to do maybe with Thanksgiving, and people are still getting over all that. And as we get into this week, fingers crossed, the sales will increase. But we'll see. Hopefully. So I'm gonna have to take off, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you're not watching live, please comment below if you have questions or comments, or you want to see a video about a certain topic. And I will see you tomorrow for another video. And as always, guys, keep booking.